down to my off-grid tiny home cabin in the woods. Put in a gate where we can still go by on the quads. Usually I just leave the gate open during the day and come home at night and shut it. I lived in town for the last 10 years in a nice townhouse by myself most of the time. Had a roommate for a couple of years, I think. But now decided for a total life change and left my career and my townhouse and moved into this off-grid tiny cabin home. On another piece of property my parents own, which is close by in the neighborhood. My brother and my sister-in-law and niece are also in the same neighborhood as my parents and me. Got the off-grid cabin and a shed behind it that we put up to make a bathroom and shower house, and solar on top. Little fire trails around here to help in case of a wildfire. Got my slack line and hammock and generator little house to help with the noise and safety of generator to go along with the solar power. And there's Beanie in the window, little black and white cat. She's 2 years old and I just turned 33 a couple days ago. So I have a nice little hammock to bask in and a slack line I've seen people use online for fun, and I decided to buy one and try it out, and it's awesome. Hopefully I can get to where I don't need the top line at all. Gotten better, but still need a lot of practice. Another little sitting area over there. The cabin, the bathroom house, the generator shed, a little extra gas can for transporting gas. I'll leave it unscrewed a little during the heat so it doesn't build up pressure. And the driveway up. It's a pretty beautiful place to be in. So the generator box my dad built, and it makes the generator really quiet. Did a little dishpan with water just in case for the exhaust. We bought a gas can from online that feeds up into the generator, and it's a 6-gallon gas can. And the generator, if it's on eco, you can get about 9 hours a gallon. If the generator's on high, you get like 4 hours a gallon. Most of the time it's on eco. Unless I need to run the air conditioner, then the generator has to be on high. The nice thing on eco, besides the air conditioner, it'll jump up to the power it needs. If you turn on the kettle or the panini press or the microwave, it'll jump up to the power it needs. So I have a lock here for the generator box. And got a Honda EU 2200i, really quiet generator. And you just turn it on. In the mornings, I'll turn on the choke. Make sure it's on high when you start it, not eco, and give it a little pull. And we also added this exhaust that goes out. It also covers the whole back fan. And there's an opening up here that brings in fresh air, flows into the generator, and then everything goes out that pipe and then down towards the water, just in case. This does have a built-in spark arrestor too, so it shouldn't have any issues, plus all the gravel all around here for safety. So just give it a little pull and it'll be on high, and then after a couple seconds I'll turn it down to eco. Whoops. So turned it down to eco and shut the door, and it makes it really quiet. None of the neighbors can hear it. You can walk down the road and can't even hear it. And now my lights turned on inside, all my power's on, my lights are on outside. Got some solar tiki lights. Some more lights on the front here. Have some solar string lights up on the beam up there that should come on later. You can get lots of these little solar flame lights online. They're pretty cool at night. Got some Adirondack chairs my dad got for the cabin. Folding camping chair, a cat tree that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep or not. Got some nice cordless blinds for the windows for privacy. Motion light up there, it's really bright at night. My dad built this cabin along with some help from a friend. My dad milled all the wood, cut down the trees, and built the cabin. Can build anything out of wood or metal pretty much. Ice chest to take when I go shopping in town. Some other odds and ends down there. I have an outlet out here my dad put in. We have solar panels from Harbor Freight. And some little solar motion lights. And Dad built a base for the shed, a little steps, propane tanks, and a little roof, battery box, fire extinguisher. And this shed is Rubbermaid 7x7 Big Max shed, I think, from Home Depot. And you got the latch out here. Turn on the light my dad added. We mounted a mirror. Dad built a shower ring rod. Clear curtains so the light can go into the shower. We have an older Coleman instant water heater. And I have another blue jug too. And it just pumps right out, and use some little propane cans and have instant hot water. You can get it crazy boiling hot. And then a black, just plastic horse trough. Dad made a base for it. Some rugs, a little buddy heater, shoe rack for towels and toilet paper and such. A nice wooden coat rack my parents made, a couple of. Mounted a light in here. A nice little room divider for the corner, some magnets. Dad put in a urinal, which is kind of handy for guys that know how it is to use a separate toilet. You got to sit down to go to the restroom, so for the men it's easier for having a urinal. It's a nice separate toilet, separates the liquids from solids, and then you dispose of the solids. The liquids go down through some pipes along with the drain from the shower, down through some pipes under the, oh, and there's also a fan that continually runs with the separate toilet if you know anything about the separate toilets. So it's always exhausting any smell from the toilet or from the air in here. So the drains go down under the shed, down into the ground, into a drain field Dad built in the ground, and some pipes coming up just to let some air in down there. And the separate toilet venting out here. We also added some vents for some more airflow besides what comes with the shed. We added some vents there, and also some vents up here, just because in the summer it can get pretty hot in there with the black roof in the afternoon. So hopefully that'll help with airflow. I think it already has. Have the propane tanks with a automatic regulator that switches between tanks as it needs. And Dad built a little roof for it. I have a little walkway over here to a trail down to the fields. I have my air conditioner vent in the window. We have a Martin heater, propane heater we just got off of Amazon. And there's just a cover on it right now because it's summer. We're not using the heater right now. And you have a vent. So it's a direct vent Martin heater, propane. It brings in fresh air from the outside and also exhausts to the outside, so it's way safer than some heaters that use up the oxygen inside. Got to make sure you have a window cracked, whereas this you don't really have to make sure you have a window cracked. We do have a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector inside just in case. Probably gonna get another one. Have some bins for trash. Before I go to the dump, fill those up and they can fit in my SUV. Right now for the drain, for the sink inside, it's just a bucket and we go and dump that every once in a while. And we're back to the front porch. And such a nice view from the front porch. I think I just had a spider on my head. Hopefully it was a flying bee though, not a spider. Or a flying bug. Anyway, there's cords up there that go to the little solar panels for the string lights that are on the beam, which will get on along with these flame lamps. They'll turn on when it gets dark enough. And we'll take a look inside the cabin. Nope, that solar light's already on. Do not disturb. Let's see if we can show what it looks like with these string lights on. There we go. Pull the sensors down. So I just got those online, 2 strands. Had one and realized I should get a second strand, so that's nice in the evening. They're just solar. And got just some little decorative things down here. So take a look in the cabin and see what we've done in there. And there's Beanie. Say hi to everybody, Beanie. Hi. Hi, honey. So coming in, there's another coat rack my parents made with some cool big steel nails. I know. And another coat rack, a carbon monoxide detector. Luckily I had these nice metal racks for years and kept them just in case. So I have food items, some shoes on the bottom, coat rack, Beanie, enough. File cabinet, fire extinguisher, and these nice cordless mini blinds you just pull up and down, and of course you can adjust them as needed. Ooh, excuse me. BB gun, some pictures, lights, beanie, log bed my dad made. And got a nice little side table dad made out of wood. Mirror. I put a box fan up here as a ceiling fan for now. Beanie. TV, dresser. Have my clothes in there, but it's kind of an entertainment stand. Air conditioner, heater. Sectional pieces I kept. Luckily, somebody had given me those and had 7 pieces down to 3, and it worked perfect for in here. Beanie, be quiet. And blinds for the other windows. The Martin heater. You can actually see the flames when it's lit down below in the glass window. Air conditioner. Portable rolling air conditioner. Got a nice little mirror I made a long time ago. A little sink dad made. Have this awesome battery powered water dispenser. It can dispense a cup or a kettle worth. And got a little light up here to help when you're in the mirror. Beanie, enough. And then the sink is down, drains down there, and just use these 5-gallon jugs for water. Have some other random stuff down there. So the 5-gallon jugs for the shower, and for in here, probably fill just one for here, one for the bathroom once a week. Vitamins and silverware, microwave, fridge, panini press, kettle. Beanie, enough. And all these leaves that just keep falling, and I keep raking, and it's never ending. Gives me something to do. And this nice table that my dad made, and these cool legs. This table was actually the first front door, which the door warped, so he ended up making part of it into a table, which turned out pretty awesome. Have another one of these racks in here, and a light. So we started off with this little USB car charger voltage reader and just a car battery outside with just a couple lights in here. I plug in this light and it charges the flashlight of many flashlights I have, but mainly I use it for this little night light to distract all the tiny little bugs that still get in the window screens so they don't bug me when I'm sleeping. And this light is off of the battery, and this light's off of the battery, so that's off of the 100-watt solar that's on top of the bathroom shed. And there's plug-ins under the table and over there by the TV, and also back underneath there, underneath the nightstand. This is the USB controller and all that came with the solar panel. So I use one USB port for this nice little fan. It has low, medium, and high. It's just a USB fan. I actually have 2 of them. And they are really powerful, and they help next to the bed when you're sleeping. I have my phone charger, which when the generator's on, I plug it in here. When the generator's off, I plug it in here. And then all my nice little lights, temperature reading there. There's also a temperature reading here. Which right now it's warmer in here because I've been gone for most of the day. need to open the windows or turn the AC on. But it usually stays maybe 10 degrees or a few degrees less than that difference than the outside from the inside. So it's usually cooler in here and hopefully warmer in the winter. Behind these little decorations, there's actually a converter box that converts the generator power to the battery. And there's a little switch right there that you can turn it on and off. So when the generator's on, the converter is charging the battery that's outside in that battery box. Just in case there's some days that aren't much sun, or during the winter, it's going to be great when there's not much sun at all, or the solar panels with the trees and clouds and rain. When the solar panel doesn't produce enough, then the generator with the converter will charge the battery all the way up. And again, that's mainly just to use this little fan and my phone charger at night when the generator's not on, and then also this light and that light off of the battery when the generator's not on. So like when I'm ready to go to bed or in the morning or even during the day, I can still power stuff and not have to use the generator. My fridge is doing really well. Just a fridge from Home Depot, and I put a bunch of ice packs up inside the little freezer part, and they're all frozen, and I run the generator probably 4 hours in the evening and maybe 1 hour in the morning, and the ice packs all stay frozen and cold, and that still keeps my temperature in there under 40, which is safe for refrigerated stuff, so I don't have any freezer frozen items. So that's working out better than I thought. So all my stuff stays cold. So probably only run the generator like maybe 5 hours a day, and again mostly on eco. So that's like 9 hours a gallon on eco. So the first week I was in here, pretty much went a whole week on only 3 gallons of gas, and 5-gallon gas can to fill up right now is around $14 to $15. So this is my tiny home cabin off-grid in the woods. And I have changed this around, the layout, and I've already changed it back to a different way, so it's nice to have some options. Take a look out the door. The lights are on up there. It's just very peaceful here. And then I added these lights down below just the other night, so that makes it really fun. And then of course during the winter we'll have a bonfire out here and make a fire pit, have people over if we're able to. Probably have a fire pit right there where we've burned some other stuff earlier in the year. And then there's fire trails all throughout, and I've raked them off multiple times, and now the leaves are back and gotta rake them again, just to have an extra break in between if a fire were to come this way. So that's my tiny off-grid cabin in the woods. I hope it inspires others. Like I said, I quit my career and moved out of my townhouse with all the amenities that I was in for 10 years and chose to do this for a while and maybe take off work for a half a year or so and then figure out what I really want to do that I'll enjoy. I was at a job for 12 and a half years. I was an assistant manager for 10 years and then a store manager for 2.5 years, and I'm sure some of you can relate that you're done at some point and just can't do it anymore. So My mind has healed from moving out here. And you can see why. And I've always wanted to live in a tiny home, or build a tiny home, and everything worked out. I was able to do this. Total life change. I hope it inspires others to do this as well. At least for a while. Bye-bye.